because this isn't just a podcast about threesomes, let's switch gears a little bit.
Right, yeah,
I'm going to bring up another taboo subject, which is anal sex for men. This is a big deal with my clients. At some point, if we start talking about sexuality, I'll usually bring up and say, hey, have you ever explored your asshole? And they're like, no, not really. It's like a big thing. And so I want to invite you to just talk about it a little. Like, there's men listening here, and we're trying to help give some guidance towards a more fulfilling life and a more fulfilling sex life as part of that. Is anal a part of that, and if so, how?
Anal could be a part of that, totally. It could be a part of that, and this is an area of the body that most men have deep shame around and fear around. And not just most men, like most humans. You know, most humans have deep fear and shame around this area of the body. And regardless of any ideas of should or should not, I think that if a person goes through their whole life without experiencing the vast amount of pleasure that's possible from exploring that region of your body, like, to me, that's just a loss. You know, I'm just like, damn, you know, they're missing out. Like, they don't know how good it could feel. You know, it could feel so good to get a blowjob when your partner has their finger in your ass stimulating your prostate. Like, that is some next level pleasure. It's so good, you know, and if you go through your whole life without experiencing that, you just, damn, you know. So that's the first thing that comes up for me.
So just to clarify for some men listening, and to clarify from my own understanding too, your prostate is like a walnut-sized organ inside of you that you can reach through your anus.
Yeah.
And that when you touch, and when it flutters, that's actually that's the sensation of ejaculation.
Ish. yeah.
Yeah, ish.
And so you touch it through your asshole.
Yeah, you can touch it through your asshole. You can also stimulate it by pressing pretty intensely on your perineum. Okay. But direct stimulation inside your asshole is inside your anus, if we're going to use those anatomical terms, is a great way to do it. And it's similar to if you were to stick your fingers inside of a vagina and curl them up to touch the G-spot. It's similar. And generally speaking, prostate stimulation on its own is okay, but prostate stimulation when combined with stimulation of the penis is gold. Like, it's so good, you know.
I was gonna ask, so how does one do this while they masturbate?
Yeah.
It's a great question.
I imagine the angles are kind of tough.
You know, you would think so. You would think so. This is, you know, a video example would be great, but I'm not.
Maybe one day you'll post one of those.
Yeah. You can. How would I explain this right now for somebody listening? A really great way to do it actually is if you're in the shower, because that way you can clean afterwards and you can wash beforehand, and get some lubricant that is non-water based. I'm a big fan of Uberlube. They did not pay me to say that, but that's, you know, I like their stuff a lot. And so if you like hold out your hand in front of your body right now and do the thumbs up position, yeah, like that. Okay. Like while you're masturbating, standing up, you can reach that thumb around and insert it into your anus that way. And the big pad of your thumb will be in the perfect position to stimulate your prostate.
And you just curl it forward a little bit, okay, towards your belly button.
And you can also do this laying on your back with your middle finger reaching in through through your legs. Cool. But the shower is a great way to do it too, and then you can wash up afterwards.
There's gonna be some people listening, my guess is saying, yeah, but going in my ass makes me gay.
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
I would ask another question. Like, A, like, so what? B, but that's not gonna happen. I guess the B question is do you think there's a part of your body that is inherently geared towards one sexual, desire, choice? Like, how could your asshole be gay and the rest of your body not be gay? Like, logically it just doesn't make sense. But I'm also here to tell you from personal experience, like, I've put my fingers in my asshole. My girlfriends have put their fingers inside me. They've put toys inside me. One of my girlfriends, my current partner, has even fucked me with a strap on. And I still love women. I still love going down on her. Like, I'm definitely not gay. And if I was, like, that'd be great too, but I'm not,
How does that, when you get fucked by your partner with a strap on, how does that affect your masculinity?
Yeah.
Do you feel emasculated? I'm guessing obviously not, and I'm guessing one of the fears people would have is they'd be like, no, I'll become like a pussy or something like this, some type of messaging that's gonna get men to close up to that idea that could be really pleasurable. What do you do when those types of things start flooding you?
Yeah. So I think this is a really good question, and this is going to go a little deeper into what I call the sexual energetics. And what I would say first is I don't necessarily recommend everybody listening go out and try this immediately, you know. For me, it was not an emasculating experience at all. It was incredibly beautiful and connective, and I'm a big fan of exploring all the different dynamics that can come up in sex. And me having a penis, I'm usually the penetrator, right? I'm usually entering into my girlfriend, and I don't know as much what it's like to be penetrated. I don't know what it's like to be fucked in that same way. And so I want to have that experience, like A, for my own pleasure, and B, for the knowledge of like, oh, is this really what it's like? And I remember the first time I was penetrated by my girlfriend, like it was almost triggering. It was almost a triggering experience because of the intensity and the vulnerability that was there, and all the fear that came up. Like, she was literally entering my body, and the thing that really almost triggered me, or maybe moved me in that moment is a better way to say it, was that it hit me that this is what I've been doing with women my whole life. Like, I've been penetrating them. Like, holy God, you know, what a vulnerable thing to experience. And me receiving that experience, like, it illuminated so much for me, and it helped me have so much more understanding and compassion for the person receiving penetration. And I didn't feel emasculated at all. I felt like it was great. I could embody the energy of receptivity and receiving while I was laying on my back and she was just fucking me. And it was so hot to like kiss my girlfriend and hold her and see her like breasts bouncing in my face while she was fucking me in that way. And God, yeah, it was just good. It was just good. And so I guess I have the question, like, if you think it would be emasculating and if you think it would ruin your masculinity, like, what stories are you telling yourself about what happens when you penetrate somebody? You know, because there's probably some other stories going on there. And really, for me, you can do whatever you want in a sexual scenario with your partner as long as it's consensual, and it doesn't mean anything. It just means you're exploring pleasure. Fundamental bottom line.
I think this is the most risque we've ever been on this podcast. It's very exciting for me to talk to. I really appreciate the depth you're going to and the things you're willing to explore. So you talk to a lot of people about sex. I know you've talked to a lot of women. I know you've talked to a lot of men. Mm-hmm. And for the men listening, what do women want? What do women want sexually? What you talked about being the man you wanted to have in your life, to bestow a little wisdom to us men about what women are and what they want.